Hey guys, Heather here from the Tye-Dyed Iguana, and today we're going to talk about impaction in reptiles. So what exactly is impaction? Well, it's a blockage that takes place in the digestive system that eventually causes constipation. And this blockage is usually caused by something that the animal ate, more specifically something it shouldn't have eaten. Unfortunately, some of the things that can cause impaction is stuff that's found in its tank, like the animal's substrate. However, that's not the only thing that can cause blockages, eating something that they're not supposed to. So if an animal is dehydrated, it can actually cause the digestive system to form a urate plug in the digestive tract that will not allow any feces to pass through. So you don't want them to get dehydrated. That can also cause an impaction. And then sometimes these things can happen at the same time. You can have them eat something that they're not supposed to, like substrate, that can block up their intestines, and they can also be dehydrated, which can form a urate plug, so you can get like a double whammy there. Now we're going to talk about the best ways to keep your animal from getting impacted. Now the major thing is the substrate, of course. You should know the habit of your animal, whether or not it's more likely to try to eat substrate or not. There are some species that are known to get blocked up by certain substrates. Like, I know this isn't reptiles, but I know in axolotls, they are known for eating anything that can fit into their mouth, and if you give them looser substrates, bigger substrates, like rocks, they tend to swallow those, and it definitely blocks up everything. And if you keep your animal on something like really fine desert sand, we don't use that stuff at our shop because the fine sand tends to clump together if the animal eats it and forms like a really hard lump and isn't very digestible at all. And that is one of the beddings that can actually cause your animal to get impacted. But other than paying attention to what kind of substrate you use, the other ways of keeping these guys from getting impacted is to make sure that they stay nice and hydrated. That will keep their stool from being too hard, and it'll make it easier to pass so they won't get impacted. And also, it'll make sure that that urate plug won't form that can block up their digestive tract either. Another way to prevent impaction is to make sure they have proper UVB lighting. UVB just isn't all just about bone health. It helps with other things too. Keeps their body working properly and keeps their digestive system running well so that they can digest all that food and break it down and make sure it forms normal sized feces that can pass through. Another really important thing is to make sure that their temperature is warm enough, that you got that proper hot spot, because without that warmth, these guys can't digest the food that they eat, and well, if they can't digest it, it's just gonna get blocked up in their intestines because they just can't, break it down at all. So that is one important thing to remember. And then, of course, just like people, to keep from, constipation, get the bowels moving, a good thing to do is provide them lots of space to exercise. You want to make sure that they can run around and, keep their digestive system running and breaking up all that food matter in their tummies and their intestines. Yeah. Want to make sure that they have a high activity level to help the digestive system function properly. Now, last but not least, of course, is making sure you have the proper substrate for them, and not a substrate that tends to really clump up like that fine sand if you've got a desert animal. Natural is best for these guys as far as their bedding goes. It will be loose and they will eat some of it, but the fact of the matter is just to make sure that you don't have anything harmful in there. That they can eat, like sharp stuff. You don't want anything sharp. You don't want anything that's gonna be toxic, anything dangerous. You want anything that's not gonna easily pass through their digestive tract if they do end up eating it, which they will. It happens. So that is another way to help prevent impaction. Just picking the proper substrate. Alright, so that's about it for today. Talking about a little bit about impaction stuff. It's a very important health issue that you gotta look out for in your pet reptiles and amphibians too. not just reptiles. You can have frogs that it can happen to, and like I said earlier, axolotls, and just any other animal you can think of. So we'll thank our little water dragon here for being our little model, and we'll see you guys next time.